Well, well, well. Okay, Mishpachah. All right. Well, good afternoon, good evening to whomever and how many ever are there. Oh boy, listen, it's been quite a challenge over here trying to get some things done. And we are breaking new ground. And I want to say thank you to those who are hanging out with us while we are breaking this ground. There's just some things that we're doing. So first of all, let's do this. We have a fair use policy that we always like to put the fair use up and say that federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, parody, which doesn't infringe on the copyright under Section 17 USC 107. Now, we're not doing this for parody or to make fun of anyone. It's basically teaching and news reporting. And just so that's known, we want to stay humble. How you doing, family? Keep your head down and your hands up and just keep praying to the Father. Hallelujah. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Let come your kingdom. Thy will be done in heaven, also as it is on earth. Give us today the bread we need and deliver us out of our hands of the tempters. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the hands of the tempters. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Hallelujah. Amen. I am moving a little quick through this tonight. I want to tell you that I am, it's hot for some reason right now. I have been sitting, actually let me get the line and the line with the lamb on. Listen, I have been sitting, doing a lot of work right here, getting things together for us. As you can see, I'm having to use the dynamic tonight because for whatever reason, and trust me, I have a ton of batteries around here, but when the battery went out on the condenser and I had like 15 minutes to hunt down a battery, it's probably out in the garage with the rest of the stuff. I just, let's just grab the dynamic mic and just go for it. Sometimes I prefer the sound sometimes of the dynamic. I just don't like having to hold it all the time. And then I have a mic boom, but then I don't want to attach it to this table. Because I move this stuff around. Sometimes I'll be out in the garage. In the summer, I'm out in the garage. In the winter, when it's really cold or it gets damp, I move the gear into the house because I don't want, this gear getting wet. And certainly the drums, which you see covered up behind me, I don't want them getting wet or even moisture. It's an electronics thing. So anyway. I wanted to come in here and try out some things. There is, if you're looking at the YouTube, you can see that there is a call-in number there with the pen, and we're using the page of our other platform, which is Second Sight 2020. And if you haven't been over to Second Sight 2020, you might want to drop in over there and take a look at some of that stuff. PC is telling me there's some high CPU usage, so you may see some dropouts. I hope you don't. But if you do see some dropouts, I have a lot going on right here, right now, so it's a little difficult to see everything. I've got the call-in number right here on the phone. So I've got that there. There's some things that I said that I was going to do, and I've been, working diligently to get those things done for us so that we'll be able to, talk with one another. There's going to be a time when I will have both these PCs up and running at the same time. one doing the broadcast and then the other one running the stuff in the background. There is a way to do it, but usually those software platforms cost a lot of money. And so, even though I have heavily invested in PCs and tablets and phones and things and pianos and guitars and drums and, this portion of it was never the plan. It was never, what I was going to do. This just sort of kind of happened out of my discovering who I was. And once I realized I was a Hebrew, and I've told you guys this before, then this was something that I had to do, because I started to chronicle my journey, and I started to chronicle the things that I was learning, and I was gathering so much. I had to have a place to put it all down. And with that being the case, this ended up being that place for me to put it all down. And so don't mind me if you see me looking around and doing different things. Again, I'm flying this plane solo. I'm the pilot and the co-pilot. I have to be the navigator as well. And my job is to not get us lost and not crash the plane. So I want to say, oh, Sister Z, I see you. Shabbat Shalom. I see you popped in over there. How you doing? Okay, so let's see here. I have, okay, so first of all, for the good news, I did find a platform. Now, I don't know if anyone else saw the little fight I had with Facebook. Facebook had a situation where they took down one of our videos, and they said it violated their nudity and sexuality community guidelines. They took that down off of the Hebrew Israelite page. Let me see, how did that go? It was posted on Second Sight 2020, and then we shared it on the Hebrew page, and I'm not sure which one they took down first. I think it was the Hebrew Israelite they took down. They didn't take down Second Sight 2020. They took down Hebrew Israelite. And because they were piggybacked, the cascade effect happened where they all came down. So I ran up on Facebook and protested because the video itself, the abortion video, was still up on other sites on Facebook. And so, but because I had used the verbiage about, them being heavily indoctrinated and being imbeciles, I guess the bot called it hate speech and took it down. So I protested, and I guess once they saw the video, they put it back up, but then they covered it up saying that it was graphic and whatever, but it was. And basically what it is it's that there's, see, my thing has always been, the hatred of black on black crime. I've always had that thing with black on black crime. I'm saying, I have a, not tonight, Sister Z, I am monitoring, but I don't, because I'm so used to not monitoring, that I don't look off to my left all the time. I am monitoring tonight, Z, but I don't look off to my right all the time. And so I just happened to look over there and see that you had said hello. So, hi. I'm good too. But I was actually just talking about the fact that I posted a video. And let me see if I can free up some resources here. What I don't need, I can always bring back. Okay, so I had posted a video of an abortion, a live abortion with two black nurses, or a black nurse and an attendant, giving one of our akotis an abortion. Okay, now I did a teaching on this, and the Father's serious about this seed thing. He the Most High is serious about this seed, because this is how we keep the Yahudim growing, building, and growing. You know, he wants us to be fruitful and multiply, even though we're going to be a small, portion. In the end, we're going to be the greatest of it all. But he needs and wants that seed, and he's serious about that seed. So the teaching that I did was about I forget. I had it all. I had it all in my head and the whole nine when I was doing the teaching. But one of Abraham's sons had died, and the law was that the brother was supposed to take her to wife and raise up seed to his brother so that the name continues on. When he pulled out and spilled his seed on the ground, and the Most High killed him for that. So the whole idea was it's about this seed, to the point where Abraham promised that his youngest son, when his youngest son grew up, he would give her to wife the youngest son, but he didn't do that. So she sat in the gate of the city, and what happened was that she sat there as a harlot, and as a harlot she tricked Abraham into laying with her, and then she got a child from that union. So the oldest brother dies, the other brother takes her to wife, and then he spills his seed on the ground, and then he gets killed for it. So the whole thing is the father's serious about this seed thing, which is why this sexual immorality, I think that was the name of the video I did. I was talking about the sexual immorality in the Yahudim. So I'm trying to watch all the screens and make sure that I'm paying attention to it all. I only have the one screen. This is the reason why I want to split everything between have maybe the live calls come in over there, and then I don't have to have it all on one computer just sucking up the resources. So I'm going to be experimenting throughout the week. But as I said, I had a call-in number. I've had this call-in number for a while, but I had to get it set up on my phone, and so I had to call my service provider and get them to turn me on in a particular way. So they gave me, a lot of minutes, and so I'm okay that way with a lot of minutes. And so I just have to figure out how now to work all the systems between the two computers and still have everything on. So I'll probably use the bigger computer for the phone lines and everything else, and then run the video and the other stuff from the laptop here, so we won't have any dropouts. So if you do see some interruptions, that is the case, is because we are on the laptop. This is a business machine, but it's primarily the drum processor. All the drum sounds, the sounds of these electronic drums come out of this laptop. So I have to use the two of them in order to make this thing flow more efficiently. I did end up, like I said, we got the conference call number, which you can see there on the screen. We have that. We have, let's see, there's going to be some more dropouts here. I can see that. We have the conference call number. I'm working with a company in London right now to create the platform. Let's see if we can get this going here again. This is giving us some difficulty. To create the platform. Now, they have the ability to be able to create the platform, and they are working with me steadily. However, what they tell me is that they don't actually have what I need. However, they do want to have what I need. What they have is the ability to be able to, to stream from your phones and from your tablets and things like that. And as I was telling them, I do a lot here in the studio, and when I'm out, I stream live from out there as well. But for the most part, I need to be in-house, because if we're here and if Ashira comes, when he's planning on coming to the studio, I want to be able to do a live when he's here, so you guys can see us in here working, putting together the 12 Tribe music. Mike comes to town quite often, nephew Mike, and whenever he comes up, I want to be able to go live from here. And, you know, as we sit down and working on some music, or we sit down and have a study, I want to be able to show that and not have to rely on the tablets and the phones to do so. You know, I mean, there's just so much more that's going on in here with the software and things, not just to have it, you know, be used in that case. So I'm working with them, those guys in London, and we've been emailing back and forth, and I've been giving them my requirements, and they plan on having their platform ready for that around March. So as I told them, I said, well, look, you know, here's the software that I use to stream with, and I send this to Facebook and I send it to YouTube. So if I can send it to you guys, see, and the thing of it is it's to have a platform that's not like Facebook. It's to have a platform that's not like YouTube. In other words, when we come into this platform, it's just us in there. It's our own community. We don't have to worry about, you know, if I show you a video of a live abortion going down, I don't have to worry about, you know, Facebook screaming at the top of their lungs, you can't show that in here. That's nudity. You know, I mean, because it's about us. You know, here's the situation. If you haven't seen the video, the video goes like this. The law was passed in New York that a woman can have an abortion all the way up to the time of birth. So here you are, 9 months pregnant, about to deliver, and it's the time when you deliver and you say, you know what, I don't want this baby. And they can abort it right then. At the time when you're about to give life, they can take life right then, and it's legal. So they did it, and they filmed it, and I posted the video. And everything went crazy. So that was the thing, you know, and that's what made everybody a little bit mad, and that's where everything went crazy. But hold on for a second, I want to open this screen up. So let's see here. So I'm in here flying solo. Sister Z is in here with me. And we just go on like we normally do, because this will be played back later and you guys can watch it. And I always see you guys watching things. So the whole idea is to eventually get us over into a place, into a room where we can all be together at a particular time. So what I did was I put the call out and said, hey, look, we're going to be over here Shabbat at this time. You know, this is what we're doing. And so I'll make it a regular thing, you know, every Shabbat, you know, Friday night at about 5:30 or 6, I'll be coming in here and, you know, I'll do what we normally do. Now tonight, excuse me, I've been up since I was early. But tonight, you know, I'm not planning really tonight. Okay, so tonight I'm not planning really. Okay. Tonight I'm not planning on really doing a whole lot, other than just checking out the software, you know, making sure things are flowing. I hear the phone is live, just in case, because, you know, the number's up. So this is the test flight. This is the maiden voyage. Now we're going to have a couple more maiden voyages, because when the platform actually goes live, then we'll be over there doing that, and we'll see how many, if any, come over there. Now, one thing I know about Israel, you know, I love you guys, but, you know, you guys, you're like your dainties. And your dainties are, you know, living your life on Facebook, scrolling through pages, seeing who said something funny, and, you know, looking at stuff, you know, and then there's guys out here doing platforms like mine, and we're bringing you relevant stuff. And I see that when I go on other people's pages and I hang out on their pages and I sit there for the entire study. If I come into your world and you're teaching and you're saying something relevant, I'm going to stay there because I'm in there studying. And I noticed that Israel has a problem. Israel has a big problem. Israel can sit up and watch an NFL football game for 2 or 3 hours, but they can't keep the book cracked open for 2 hours. They can't sit down and now there's a lot of Israel that can. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Israel that can, but for the most part, we're lazy. We're like our forefathers. That's what got us in trouble in the first place. We just weren't paying attention. And I'll take that off to say that I ran into a friend today. Her son died last year, and here's a person who knows that we're Hebrew. She knows she's Israel. She knows it was all church. Even though she knows who she is, our conversation was surrounded around church. It was, church has buzzwords, right? Church has those things they say. First, giving honor to God. Want to thank pastor, family members, and friends. And on today, praise God. They have certain buzzwords and ways that they speak, and it's all about church. So I started talking to her about some very relevant things in Scripture, and she was shaking her head, yeah, but she went back to church, And the thing to me is that you know who you are. When we started talking, I've been knowing this lady. I'm not going to say her name because if she watches this, I don't want to call her out like that. But I've been knowing her for how long have I been there? 9 years. I think I've been knowing her for 5 of the 9 I've been there. Maybe 6 of the 9 I've been there. I've been knowing her for a while. And so having this conversation, I'm at work and our Christmas season is over, so I'm in the back and I'm throwing trees, boxes of Christmas trees down off this 12 feet up off the floor on this ladder down onto this platform. I had started stacking boxes on the platform, so when I was three platforms high, 3 boxes high, 3 stacks of boxes high, I was landing trees on top of that box so I can go down there and top of that stack so I can go down there and stack them. And that's not my job. I'm a pricing manager, but my job was to take all those trees from the prices that they were at and turn those prices to 0 and then ship them out. And my job is to turn the prices to 0. I was helping the guy who's the lead in that department get his trees down so they could be shipped out. So since I, had my work was finished, I knocked myself out early. I was a whole day ahead. I didn't have a whole lot to do other than, get the ad ready for Sunday to get set. And I almost forgot that because I was helping him get his product out and clear the show because spring is coming in and, summer's coming. So winter stuff has to go out and, it's retail, it's big box. So, and as again, I'm the pricing manager. I handle the pricing and turning stuff around. So, but I do give a hand where a hand is needed, and he was by himself and he was, humping it away over there. So I went over there and I helped him, knock out 2 pallet fulls and a flat cart full. And then I had to go do my thing. But anyway, suffice that to say that while I was standing there for let's see what we got going here. Did we drop out? While I was standing there with her for all that time, so I went over there and I helped him, knock out 2 pallet full. I don't know if I'm still live. Okay, there we go. Looks like everything froze for a moment there. Did we drop out? While I was standing there with her at the time. Yeah, everything dropped out for a moment. Okay. All right. So I'm back. I'm back. I was sitting here watching it, and everything froze. And I'm like, wait a minute. What happened? So, but it's okay. So I'm standing there talking to her, and we're talking about, the beginning of the year, that, everyone makes New Year's resolutions and things. And I didn't make a resolution. I had an epiphany and a talk with the Most High. And my thing with him was could no longer be harboring animosity. And, there's some things you need to clean up in your life. And we got down to that, and we got to working it out right here at my piano. And so, talking to her and explaining to her that, we all have difficulties. We all have challenges. I'm still going through some difficulties. I still have challenges. I'm in a place right now where my mother is older. I have her here with me. You might see her go by. She'll be going outside to smoke a cigarette, and that's the tough part with me and Mama right now. And it's like, I've seen you fight some battles, but here's one that's coming that, I've never seen you quit, and it just seems like you don't even want to try to fight this one. You don't even want to try. And that's hard for me to understand, being the baby boy, and, the rest of the siblings are off doing whatever they're doing, living their lives. And I'm like, I'm not going to leave Mama hanging. You guys are just out there doing whatever, and I'm not going to leave Mama hanging. So I got Mama here with me, and she's been here with me. Let me see. We've been together. I brought her up here in 2008. I think it was the first time I got her up here. It was in 2008. 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. It was like maybe the end of 2008 and going into 2009. But I've been in this house, this one here, and for 5 years, going on 6. And she came and joined me in this one because I moved closer to work, and then she came and joined me in this one. So she's been with me, and I've never seen her back down from a fight. This is a Hebrew woman. I've seen her knock grown men out. Okay, and my uncle, when they were kids, he would tell me all the time, if I was going to have to do the get down, I'd take her with me because I knew she could handle it. And she was that's the kind of mother I had growing up. Mama was a gangster. She used to run with the Chosen Few, which is a black motorcycle club. In Los Angeles, they're known as the Black Hills Angels. Okay, so that's the kind of crowd, that she ran with. Now, even though I was in and out of her life at that time, I was, with grandma and foster homes, shelter homes. This stuff was going on in our world, and that's usually what happens is the system breaks a family up, and then they ferry the kids off to different places. Well, my sister got to go to family, but I went into the system, and their design was to have me become an inmate for the rest of my life. So all the indoctrination was going on then, to try to have me, on the recidivism train, going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You foster home here, shelter home there, juvenile hall here, back and forth, on and on, until finally, when you get to a certain age, once you get to a certain age, what happens is that there's no more shelter homes, there's no more foster homes. Once you get to a particular age, then it's California Youth Authority, which is the junior prison. Now, at that time, it wasn't even considered prison. It was just, a place where, because you're at this time, you're 15, 16, 17, about to turn 18, somewhere they're going to let you go. So this is the point where they're watching you, because from here, you'll either go into the prison system or they'll just release you. But that's the training ground for the prison system. So you had the hardcore teenagers in there with the not hardcore teenagers. Now, you could become hardcore in there and end up going straight into the prison system, or you can just stand your ground, hold your ground, and then, just get out. Now, I was a throwaway kid. There was just no place for me to go. Mother would not emancipate me, to let me go on about my way. And so the judge said, I have no choice. I hate to do this, but, I have no choice because I can't just let you walk the streets. But that's the kind of childhood that I had. And even in the midst of that, after all, and so when I was sitting here 2019, the beginning of the year, when the Father was dealing with me about the resentment that I was holding, against, my siblings and my nephews and my nieces. And he said, oh, and one more thing, we got to uncover this. And when he opened up that box, that's when all that stuff spilled out, because I had forgotten about that. It had been buried so far back in my mind, and I hadn't, and he was like, but you got to give me that too. You can't be carrying around this resentment, and I didn't know that for all those years, I was really deep down inside angry with Mama for I was 15 when that occurred, when that happened, 14 turning 15 when it happened to me. But during the time, I had been in and out of shelter homes, in and out of foster homes. I mean, from second grade all the way up to that point. I mean, I literally grew up in the system. And for me not to be in prison now, is a miracle. But it's by the power of the Most High God of Israel, because I've always been a believer. Ever since I was a child. I mean, there's a lyric in my song I can't remember. What is this? I think it's a song called "I Got Faith" I wrote, and the lyric is, I can remember at 9 I prayed. I was 9, hanging on a chain link fence outside of our house, saying, "Lord, when is this going to end? When will it end?" I was crying. I'll never forget that day. I was out there crying. I said, "Why do I have to live like this? What is this?" And I prayed, "Lord, make a way somehow." I'll never forget that. So I'll have to play "I Got Faith" over here one day for you guys to hear that. But anyway, I was in it like that, and a lot of us, come out of it that way, and the system is designed, for us to end up and to be in positions like that. And I know that I had people tell me that well, actually, I'll say it like this: they taught manifest destiny. I had a teacher tell me, you don't have any future other than the future I give you. Second grade. I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. And so you see, I come out of a generation. I'm on the very tail end of the baby boomers. Okay, I'm on the tail end of the baby boomers. And this teacher said that to me, and so I started watching and paying attention, because even then I knew something's not right with this. Something's wrong with this. I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was, and even at that young age, I knew that it was something that was very, very ugly, and something very not nice. So that's when I got hip, basically to how they look at us. And so I started paying attention, and I've been aware ever since. I just didn't know anything about Hebrews, and because I was a young kid. I didn't know anything about that. I had to grow up and learn that stuff. So then, coming forward, I'm looking at all these different things that are going on around me, and like I said, Mama was running with the chosen few, so she didn't have time for her kids. At that point, now our grandparents have us, and when you're in a foster home and your grandparents have, you're in and out of foster homes, you're in and out of shelter homes, and your grandparents have you, and a lot of us was raised by granny. When mamas and them wasn't there, there was guys that would come around and give me money to send me to the store, and I'd take the money, and I'd just be sitting there looking at them like, you think I'm stupid? I wasn't born yesterday, right on for the dollars, man, but, I'm not leaving. This is my house, you're going to do what you're going to do, but I'm not leaving my house because you want to get freaky with my mama, So there was a lot of stuff that was going on, and so when I was sitting here in the beginning of the year, you know, and praying, forgive me of my trespasses as I forgive those that trespass against me. The Father's like, wait a minute, you got some hidden stuff going on there that you got to unload this baggage, you know. And so I had to get rid of all of that. I'm saying all that to say this is that, you know, we got, you know, Mama still smokes, and now we may have a health issue. Well, we always had health issues, but we may have another one now, and I believe it's the smoking. But when you have a family member, and this is what I was talking to my girl about today. I know I said a lot just to get here, but I had to lay that groundwork so you can understand that, you know, our people make decisions that we can't do anything about. You know, only thing we can do is just keep living our lives and loving on them. And I have a new freedom now that I know that I'm not angry with Mama anymore, because I didn't know I was mad all those years. I didn't know, you know, I was carrying that around. And one thing I do know is that you can carry so much anger around that your anger can turn into cancer and kill you. Your hatred and your evilness can turn into a malady inside of your body, and it can kill you. Well, my mother's a nurse, a retired nurse, and she told me years ago, you can worry yourself to death. It's actually true. You can have yourself in a state of so stressed out that your brain will kick off a toxin that will affect your whole body, and you can take yourself out. You can literally die of a broken heart. You know, the mind, your emotional state will cause your body to kick off a toxin that will actually kill you, because your heart is broken. You don't want to be here anymore. So Mama is the last of her brothers and sisters. Second to the oldest, everybody's gone except her. I honestly don't think that she wants to be here. I think that she wants to let happen whatever will happen. And me being the baby boy, I don't want to hear that. You know, no, I've seen you fight bigger fights. I don't want to see you quit like this. I've never seen you quit like this. So but the conversation that we had today is you can't make anybody do anything, right? So when I'm sitting here and I'm studying and I'm teaching, you know, tonight we're kind of lounging because I got the stuff and we're trying it out. But we'll get into something. We'll see where the Holy Spirit leads us. We'll see where the Ruach HaKodesh takes us tonight, you know, because I don't fly this plane, man. I get in here and you know, I wait until you know, he says, crack this open. The E-sword is up. The Hallelujah scrolls are open. I'm good to go, whichever way he says to go, you know, but I'm just kind of like, you know, we got the new telephone line up, and so in case anybody calls, you know, I can see that, and it's right here. I do want it on the other computer though, because I think when it does come through, it's probably going to give a little bit of a reaction to the laptop, but that's okay. That's okay, because when I'm done tonight, I'm going to take the laptop. I'm going to go sit right over there. I'm going to take the sheet off the drums. Can you? I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to go sit. I'm going to go sit right over there. Take the sheet off these babies. And you can't barely see them under there. But I just tore them all apart and cleaned them all up. Polished everything. The chrome is gleaming, and I cover them up every night because I got mesh heads on here, and the mesh heads allow me to play in the house and not make a lot of noise. Okay, so the Mylar head, you'll hear the real sound of the drum. The mesh head, let me see. All you're gonna hear is this. That's no sound. This is almost like a silent bongo, a silent timbali or something, but you don't hear a lot. But what happens is that the drum processor plugged into the side of the computer when I plug my headphones in with the processor, I hear real drums. Where in the room, nobody will hear it unless I turn the volume up on the amplifier over here. So in the headphones, I'm in concert, live in the arena with the drum set I like to hear. And then I can turn that up. Now I can run it both ways. I'll put the regular heads on here, and then I'll have the electronics going as well. And I can have them both coming through the speakers, and it's a nice big fat sound. But that's what I'll do. I end up taking this laptop and I'll go over there and I'll do the thing for the rest of the night. And that's how I spend my Shabbats. I'll sit here and I'll play piano. I'll get my bass or my guitar out. I end up writing some music, and I'll be recording, and then I'll sit down and mix, and then I'll do things. So when you hear Empty Words that plays every time that I do a broadcast, that's one of the tracks that I've done. Empty Words, I think, is like 3 years old now, maybe 4. But I reach back in my archive periodically, and I'll switch it up. I have another one that I play often called "I Don't Know If You're Ready." Sometimes I've played "I Got Faith" on here, where I talked about at 9 I prayed, and leaning on the fence. Yeah, I played that one as well. But that's primarily what I'll end up doing. Is taking this apart and then taking that over there and doing that. But anyway, we were talking about the fact that you can only do somebody can only do what someone wants to do. You can't get them to do what you want them to do. And so I can't make mama stop smoking. I can't make her do anything. I've asked her if she would like me to assist her with homeopathic products that will probably help fight whatever this is that's in her body, because we still don't know yet. She's gone off to have a couple of tests and things done, but they've sent her home because they couldn't complete the test for whatever reason. So we still don't know. But I think what it is that everybody's gone now. And so since her older brother, my Uncle Winston, is no longer, the sister who's directly underneath her is no longer. And then the baby girl, my favorite aunt, she went February before last. And my dad went December before last. So December went, and then my dad, and then February, and my aunt. So she had a thing where she questioned mortality, and I think we all do that, and there's a paper that was done maybe 4 or 5 years ago. If anything happens, don't resuscitate. And I had a problem with that. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not just gonna let you go if they can save you. I'm not gonna just. She said, no, don't resuscitate. What are you talking about? I mean, and we went and we went back and forth about that one, because I was like, I'm gonna resuscitate. And we fought. We didn't really fight, mom and son, but I was like, no, mama, I'm not ready to let you, but see, I'm the baby boy, and, while everyone else off doing their thing, I'm the one that's here with you. I'm the one that's watching what you go through. I'm the one that, when you're mad and you're angry, you want to lash out at somebody, I'm the whipping post. You can say things, see, because as a child, doesn't matter how old you get, I'm still my mother's child, right? And no matter how much I know that I'm right, and no matter how much I know that, I'm right, damn it, and I'm right, I'm still a child, right? And at the end of the day, she's still mama. And how you going to tell mama what to do? Now, you might be able to give mama some advice, and you might be able to talk mama down from some situations, but it's still mama, And when you guys have been here with your mama, when the shut up nigga comes, that what you gonna do? I turn around and walk away. I don't get mad. I'm like, whatever, mama, and I walk away, go put my headphones on and get my bang on right over here. So, but that's what it is. So having that conversation with my friend today, she was just saying that she went through the same thing at the beginning of the year, because see, she lost her son, and she was mad at him, for making the choices that he made and leaving here, But she said, it came to the point where she had to realize he did what I taught him to do. Not to just lay around and feel sorry for himself and take it. See, he had some health issues. He had a heart transplant, and he had, I think it was a kidney transplant or something. And his body rejected the first kidney. He was good with the heart. The body rejected the first kidney. And so because he was on dialysis and he couldn't, he wanted to get healthy so he wouldn't just be laying around, and watching his wife slave away and his kids and, and he was, I'm a man. I'm supposed to be, helping my family. I'm the king of the house. I'm supposed to be helping my family. And it's like, everybody's doing everything for me and I can't, he started to feel bad for himself, but then he said, I got to get up. So he put himself in a position where he can get himself, a kidney and but the surgeries went fine. Everything was fine. But 90 days in, the body rejected. And so then he ended up doing this again a couple years later, and then the body rejected. But what happened was that somewhere in there, he lost his fight. Either he quit or the body couldn't keep up. I don't know what it was. But she told me that she was angry with him for making those choices and those decisions, that put him in a position so vulnerable that he could possibly lose his life. But, at the beginning of the year when she was sitting down having her epiphany with the Most High, like I was having my epiphany with the Most High, she come to the point where she realized when the Father had dealt with her, like, he did exactly what you taught him to do. You told him to get up and do something and not just lay around. You taught him to be that man, to get, and that's what he did. He, right or wrong, good or bad, he made an attempt, and so whether it was right or wrong in our world, good or bad in our world, as a man, he made the attempt to get himself better. Win or lose, he went out fighting. And that's what I was saying to her, that, win or lose. So it doesn't matter. So I said all that to say this, that we have family. And family is not always going to be, quote unquote, what we consider making the best moves or the best decisions. All we can do is live our lives in front of them. All we can do is let them see us living our best lives. My mother will hear me praying in here. She'll hear me teaching in here. She'll see me reading my word in here. She know this is all. I come from a long line of preachers and musicians. Problem is, very few people have a real in-your-face experience with the Most High God of Israel. Okay, I can't count how many spiritual whoopings I've been put on the floor getting my butt whooped by him. I can't tell you how many. But there have been quite a few. Because who he loves, he chastises. And when you find out that that he loves you, and you're trying to walk the walk he wants you to walk, you can't get away. There's nothing you can do. If he says, look, I said go this way and you go that way, he's going to find a way to get you to turn around and go that way, whether you like it or not. Well, I'm trying to go this way. I know, but I need you to go this way. Yeah, but I need to get over there, man. I need to, okay, well, we'll get you over there, but right now I need you to go this way, okay? And when you are, oh my goodness, Sister Z, you filling in some time up there. Let me see, because I was just off my head just going with it. Let me see what you said here. Okay, you said, ooh. Yeah. Okay. I just read your what you typed in there in the chat box. I I didn't see that because I had my software was up over the chat box. I couldn't see what you had actually put in there. But you know what? That's pretty deep, sister. And see, my thing is this. You know, I've watched her smoke all my life. I have smoked it a couple of times and quit. And the last time that the Father took it away from me, I was really struggling because he had taken it from me before, and then I ended up going to school. And while I was in school, I'm not good under pressure. I'm not good under stress, and I stressed the heck out when I went back to school. And I don't know why I stressed out, but I started smoking again. And when school was over, and I was done studying, and a couple years went by, and I was trying to quit, and I couldn't. And I'm like, what is going on? See, and then see, I wasn't doing good with stressful situations because I could I could put it down and I wouldn't have it, right? But then say a weekend come up, right? And Mama would say something sideways, and then we got this little going, and now I'm mad. Not go off and get a pack of cigarettes because I'm mad, right? I'm sitting down smoking because I'm mad, right? And I knew what it was. I'm like, see, Father, these demons are laughing at me because I just lost that battle. I didn't want. I would buy the pack, and I'm like, I don't want this. What did I buy this for? Because in my emotions, now the spirit of me didn't want it. I didn't want it, right? So what I had to do was, and I know how to stop me from doing things. Like, okay, I'm not going to that gas station anymore. I don't care if I have to put gas in the car. I'm not going to that gas station because that was part of the habit. Go in there, get gas, get a pack of cigarettes, right? So stop going there to get gas if I don't want cigarettes, and I won't think about it when I go to another gas station. I pull up, just get some gas, and drive off. So that was working for a minute, and then moms would say something stupid and sideways and get me started again. I mean, because she would literally start a fight. Literally just start one. I said, you don't have anybody else to argue with. You just got to come start something with me, huh? Like, why you got to do that, Mama? Why you got to do that? I'm not even bothering you. You go to your room and go watch TV. Leave me alone, And it would just go. It would just go, right? And the next thing you know, I'd be angry and I go get me a pack of cigarettes, And so from the last one, a year ago, the last one, it was over a year ago, I went and I bought like 4 or 5 packs of cigarettes and 4 or 5 bottles of wine. Wine still sitting on the counter over there. Okay. I said, I'm not doing this, Father. I'm done. And then my sister and I had a conversation. And after that conversation, this is what we 2 years ago now. Okay. After that conversation, no more cigarettes. I mean, instantly, it was gone, just like that. And the wine's still sitting there. And I like wine. I drink a Cabernet Sauvignon. But I just, no, it was a wrap. It was done. Because, your family says something to you. They say something and you realize like, wow. You knew about that the whole time you knew and you kept doing it? Are you kidding me? For real. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about some things that what was I looking at today? Oh, do I have that? I think I do. Or do I have it over there? I think it's over there. Yes, it is over there. I can't get to that right now. I was going see. So, as I was running around trying to get set up, my main concern was getting the conference call on and getting the platform. And I talked to the guys in London, and we got the platform. We just have to wait for them to help me build it out, and then I got the conference call thing on, and it's on now. I can hear it. It's talking to me in my ear. So I just wanted to make sure it was on because I dialed into it to make sure that it would be on and that it would stay on. And I've got a bunch of minutes. Where is it? I'm looking at that screen. And it's actually right here on this one. and I've got a bunch of minutes, and so the thing of it was in the setup it was saying that make sure you have it on, what, 30 minutes, half hour before you actually go live, to make sure that it's on and working. And so I had it on, and this says it's been on now for 64 minutes and 65 minutes now. So so it's working and it's good. And I had to get my cell phone company to activate it, whatever. And it was crazy because it's South Dakota phone number for this, but the call is local for the share side of it. There's a share side of it. And so but anyway, it wouldn't let me dial the number, and I had to get them to turn it on in my company. So but here's the thing. So I eat raw. Sister Z, you've seen my Facebook side of things. So if you look through those photos over there, you'll see all my salads, because I eat raw 3 times a day. And now I do have meat. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian or whatever, but I just don't eat meat like I used to, because it's the overconsumption of meat in our world that causes us to have all the health issues that we have. So if you eat a lot of meat, that can cause you to have cancer. If you eat a lot of sugar, cancer feeds on sugar. So once the thing comes alive, and you're eating a lot of sugar, then you're actually just feeding it. So so I eat a lot of salad, and like I did some chicken breasts over there in the oven, and I'll take a chicken breast and I'll chop it up and I'll sprinkle it on my salad, so it becomes a flavoring as opposed to the substance. But the raw food, the live greens, I eat live. I had a Chinese doctor tell me, live food for a live body, dead food for a dead body. You decide how you want to live. And live and live is the same word, spelled the same, just pronounced differently. And so for some reason when he said that to me, it was like bells going off in my head. Ding, 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 ding. Live food for a live body, dead food for a dead body. You decide how you want to live. And he stopped right there. And my brain kept going like, or die, because, dead, die, And so I started eating differently. And when I started eating differently, I noticed, quite a few different things, because, I started filtering my water. I do a double filter on my water now. But I said that to say this. Today, I was, maybe I can drop this. I'll see if I can drop this link. Where's my mouse? Okay. Today, I was, there's a rabbi that I study with. And he did a teaching. I'm going to find it and I'm going to post it in here so you guys can see it on YouTube. And so let me find this real quick. Wow. This thing kicked me out. So because I saw you had jackfruit tacos for dinner. Jackfruit tacos. I don't even know what a jackfruit is. I'll have to check that out. But I haven't had a jackfruit. Z, I haven't had jackfruit. So I'm gonna find him real quick. And where's my? Oh, there it is. There it is. Hold on a second. Didn't mean to beat you up with the mouse there, so I'm going to have to figure out how to split these two up quite quickly. But by next week I'll figure out how to have the phones on one side and this software that we're using for us on the other side. But I'm going to look at something real quick for you. Let me get into my, did I bring it up already? Okay, that's that. This is this. All right, so let me get into my history. I want to give you this link because I would love for you to watch this. Where is he? Ooh. Okay, so yeah, this is the link right here. This is the one. Now I don't know how we even got this far, how we went this far. But you know, I live by the biblical dietary laws. I look at what we have and I say, okay, this is what I can eat, this is what I can't eat, you know, and for so long, and this is another conversation that she and I had, you know, earlier today, because we're talking about the condition that we are in as a people. You know, we live in the land of our captivity, and Babylon has taught us how to eat all this madness and these crap. And so two things I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a couple of videos in here that I'd love for you guys to watch. One of them has to do with tilapia. Okay, and the tilapia that we get out of our stores and that's on our plates today, you're not going to believe this. So I'm going to give you this link. I'm going to have to get it from over here. Where am I going to put it? Let's see. Let me think about where I'm going to put this. I have to drop it in here somewhere for you guys to see it. She said, "Oh, your son is vegan." Okay, that just scrolled up the screen just now. Your son is vegan. I'm trying to figure out where I can drop this. Oh, okay. Oh, see, so I'm doing it here. Working on two computers. You know, Z, I might have to give you some keys to the car so you can help me drive this thing. Because I got two mice, two keyboards, two computers, and I'm trying to do all of it at once, and I'm kind of just out there. So let me go to history. Where is this? This is, you're not going to believe this. You are not going to believe this one.
To the water is very interesting.
Wow, that's kind of loud. I'm going to I'm gonna turn it down, and I'm gonna try to drag this in. I'm gonna put the link in the I'll put it in the YouTube box. Let me copy this. But I want to see if I can bring it over here. And I may or may not be able to play this. Just depends. This thing says I'm already chewing up resources because I got that phone application running. But let me see if I can bring it over here. Let me add it right here. And I started using the laptop because the laptop has a little bit more beefiness, a little bit more power to it. And let's see if we can watch this.
To the water is a very interesting and very dirty story.
This is basically where our wastewater treatment begins. We have about 300,000 tilapia and carp in here,
right,
to get rid of a lot of the particulates.
Particulate poo.
Yes. Once they reach up to a harvest size, we harvest them out and sell them.
The fish that help purify the dirty water by eating uneaten food and poo will then be sold on the market for people to eat.
Right, exactly.
That's fantastic. Al is basically in the toilet right now, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I'm getting in with him.
Yes, well, good luck.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
All right, so I hope you understood what that was just now. This is a wastewater treatment plant. There's 300,000 carp and tilapia in the wastewater treatment plant. The wastewater treatment plant is where everything out of your toilet goes. And then they filter out the poo. Okay, so let me say that again. They're in a wastewater treatment plant. There's about 300,000 carp and tilapia in the wastewater treatment plant. This is where everything out of your toilet goes. So there's poo and urine and people flush medicines down the toilet. So there's all kinds of particulates from medications and All of this stuff is in a wastewater treatment plant, and they filter all that water out, clean that water up, and then they send it back to you, and it comes out of your faucet, and you drink it. Okay, so this is why I filter my water so very heavily. And the thing of it is that a lot of people go off and they buy their water. Problem is, just because it says it came from the Himalayas or the mountains of Fiji does not mean that it came from the Himalayas or the mountains of Fiji. Advertisers lie. They lie all the time because this is how they sell the products. And so when it's like that, you cannot trust the fact that they are actually telling you the truth or going to tell you the truth about that. So bottom line is that we have to be a lot more careful about, the things that we're putting in our bodies and the things we're ingesting. And that's why I stopped eating a certain way and started eating another way. So I said all that to say this, is that let me go over to the, before I forget, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drop that in the, I'm going to drop that link, and this is, I'm going to say tilapia. All right, so I just put that link in the YouTube. Okay, so that'll be down in the description box where you can get that link for the tilapia. So this guy is in a wastewater treatment plant, and he says the fish are eating poo, and then he says once we grow them up to harvest size, then we take them and we harvest them and we sell them to the public, and then that they end up on your plate. So you're eating a poo fish. And tilapia is a clean fish. It has scales, it has fins. It's a clean fish. It's a fish we can eat. But you see, what they've done is they've taken our clean food and they've made it dirty by feeding it poo. Right? So that's a fish that we can eat. It's on the list of our dietary laws. It's a clean fish. But it's no longer clean when they fed it full of poo. And then they don't tell you that this is so if you've been eating tilapia, you don't want to eat tilapia unless you have a way of growing your own tilapia. I wish I still had my 200-gallon tank. I had a 200-gallon tank. I would put tilapia in it now and feed my own tilapia. Now, I was thinking about doing some aquaponics, and tilapia is a great fish to do aquaponics with because the tilapia feeds the plant and the plant feeds the fish. It's a closed system, and so you're able to grow your vegetables from the nutrients and the minerals that the fish provides to feed the plant. And then the plant takes that and, does what the plant does with photosynthesis and the whole nine and puts it back in the water for the fish. So you feed your fish, regular fish food and everything else, but they get more nutrients and things from what the plant is also putting in the water. So it's a perfect system, and you can grow your vegetables and have your fish at the same time. And tilapia is one of the best fishes to do that with, but then you've got to get like baby tilapia that hasn't been put into a cesspool like this, because that's what it is. They're raising fish in cesspools, and then after the fish are big enough, from eating the poo, they get big enough, they harvest them, and then they sell them to the major supermarkets, and then you end up buying the tilapia fillets, and you have no idea that this is what you're eating. So that's the oh boy. So yeah, I see you on the side over there. So yeah, but that's the okay. So I already got my seeds for my garden this spring, and I've already started setting stuff up out on my porch, getting ready. And my mother was saying, well, where are you going to put the garden? I was like, Mama, you don't have to worry about where the garden is going, because check this out. My thing is this. I have to be able to control my soil, okay? And I'm not going to plant in my ground. I've been here 5 years. I'm renting this house. It's not my house. I'm renting this. I've been here 5 years, going on 6. But I don't know what's been buried in this soil. I don't know who buried Spot in the backyard, or I mean, I have to be able to control my soil. So I have planter boxes and bins that I'll be working out of, and I have all sorts of planters. I got an onion that's 4 years old out front. I've been growing this onion for over 4 years. 5 years now. That onion is 5 years old. Matter of fact, 4 years. 4 years. And I clip off my onion and take my onion, and this year I'll probably harvest it. When I planted it, it was about the size of my baby finger. It was about like that when I planted it. It's like my fist now. And then it split in two, so there's two of them out there. And so I'll take that out of my giant planter. I had a palm tree in that planter at one time, and then I emptied out the palm tree. Well, my neighbor, is jealous, so sprayed it with something one day, and that was before I moved here, and I tried to save it, but it died. So I ended up, cleaning out the planter and using it. And then one day I had some onions that I bought at the supermarket, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to try to grow it. And it's 4 years later. It's out there now. Went through a couple of very hard winters and a couple of floods, and it's still growing, and it's still there. And so, I'll use that planter for something else. But this year I'm going to be growing some squash and some spaghetti squash for Mama. I'm gonna grow some different lettuces, some radicchio, some cilantro. I've got some jalapenos I'm gonna be growing. I got some watermelons, and she was happy about that one. See, I have to grow my own watermelons because watermelons don't come with seeds anymore, right? And if I want to grow a watermelon, then you got 6 acres? Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to tear that up. Well, when I grew up. I see you in Southern California. Let me tell you something. Where I grew up, we were in L.A. at first, okay, and then my grandparents bought 11 acres in Paris, okay. So from second grade to my 11th grade year, I went to both Paris and Elsinore high schools, and Moreno Valley was our rival. So when I moved, so after high school, I went to L.A. and I was, like I said, I was in Motown for 12 years. So I was in L.A. doing the L.A. thing, and then I got tired of the rat race, and I moved up here, up on the mountain. And so it took me a year to get out. I was up here on the mountain, but it took me a year to get out. I was trying to get out and working my way out. And as I was working my way out, I ended up going back down there to work. And I was working on an album for Soul for Real Records, and then in the middle of that, I ended up having a stroke, and so when I came back home, there was a lot that happened in that period. I'm condensing it, and then I ended up coming back home, and then this was my recuperation period, and from that into this and to where I am now. So, but when I left there, I was in Hemet, San Jacinto, and I spent. Let me see, Hilton Hotels was there, and I was with Hilton I was a corporate trainer for Hilton for 8 years, I think. And it was on the heels of that. Okay, so yeah. So I'm getting things backed up. In 2008. I came up here in 2008. So 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2001 maybe 2001 to 2008. I was with Hilton. And I was working with Hilton, going to school, running a studio, and doing projects. I was doing movies and running projects out from Motown. I had already finished doing the in-house stuff. I was done with that. I was too old. I was already figured the game out and saw how they were using me, and I had moved on. But I was still doing projects at the point. I was doing Foley for movies, and I was doing different things and sending in projects, but I was already done. I was already out of there. So then I moved up here in 2008, and then in 2010 I had my stroke. I went back down there I was getting out. I was trying to leave the business altogether, and I just wanted to relax. And so I was up here with my savings, and then I was down there finishing up my last contractual project that I had contracted, and I was done. So I was finishing up that, and then I had my stroke and a couple other things, and then I ended up coming back up here, and so here I am, you know, from 2010 basically to 2019, and I'm way better, a whole lot stress free, and a lot more information in my head, and so I'm good. So yeah, so I'm, look, I'm from Detroit, but I grew up on my grandparents' farm, so I know how to do that. I said all that to say that I know how to do that. I ride horses and everything, and not only the metal ones, because I'm a motorcycle rider as well, but I ride the live horses too. I love the horses. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about getting another. But up here on this mountain, I really love it up here. It's quiet up here on this lake, and there's not a whole lot going on. It's really quiet up here. So I said all this to say, not necessarily, I got sidetracked actually, but the other side of the coin is that, we eat sideways. Our meals are crazy. We eat sideways. And so let me find this other video. I'm going to drop this in here because this is Rabbi talking about the how the daughter of Babylon has trained us to eat their crazy food, and how we have not gotten it all the way together yet. And this is called the Kosher Lifestyle, Kosher Lifestyle 6. And Rabbi has done, Moshe, Rabbi Moshe, I use them both interchangeably, he's done quite a few. I've been studying with this guy for a while. And I like the way he does his exposés. He does his exposés like I do mine. And when we sit down and gather up all your information, then you put it together, and then you just put it out there like that. So I'm going to drop this one in there, and this one, if you go back through my videos, you'll see I've got a few of his videos interlaced with mine, where he talks about how we got tricked into Christianity, the way that they taught us Christianity, and why we're so brainwashed into Christianity, why we do the things we do and don't even know why we're doing them because we're in Christianity. He does all of that, and he shows how the Roman Catholic Church plotted it, planned it, and put it out there for us and indoctrinated us with it here in the land of our captivity. So I'm going to drop that one in there too, and that one's called the Kosher Lifestyle. Hold on. And that's video number 2, and I'll put this one, what I want to say, I want to call this one something. I want to say this one has, what I want to say this one has to do with, let's say this is, I'll just say Kosher Lifestyle. Hold on. Okay, we'll call that one Kosher Lifestyle. Just let it rock. Okay, so those will be in the descriptions below, and the changes on that one we'll save shortly. So we're about a hour 19 minutes in of me just sitting here yapping and sharing some stuff with you. And let's see how the phone is doing. The phone is holding. I'm surprised the phone is holding up. 88 minutes 4 seconds. It's in. So the phone is good, y'all. So the next time that we do something like this, don't be shy. I've got it hooked up to the system, so whoever calls in will be able to hear you on the system. So I'm on the microphone, so the whole idea was to keep it inside the system so there'd be no feedback or anything. Everything is working perfectly. Last week we had all kinds of problems. Nothing wanted to work right, and I was just fighting and struggling and fighting, and trying to get this thing to work and stand up straight. But it's doing great now. Let me see. I had a couple of dropouts in the system. So I think next week we're going to, are we still rolling now, or did we drop out? We're still rolling. Something dropped out though, but we'll keep it pushing. But anyway, yeah, we'll do. Oh, high CPU usage. I see. There it goes. Okay, so yeah, so that's what it is. I've got too many processes going on this laptop, and She says, I'm not designed for this, Dad. You know, you're really driving me here. But it's okay. Let me see if I can straighten this out a little bit. Hold on, family. Hold on. I'm going to still keep it pushing. Hopefully it'll just go right back to where it was. Looks like it's coming back. All right, there it goes. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I reset. So if you see a skip in your video and your audio, that was me resetting it so that it could, because it looked like it dropped out, it froze. And, oh yeah, see, the good thing about YouTube gives me these analytics and a graph. I can see it going up, I can see it going down. So I can kind of see when it's freezing and when it's not, and when it's going, really good. But for the most part, we're doing okay. So I'll continue to play with this throughout the week. I have all day tomorrow to mess with it, and then I work during the week. And during the week, I really don't want to do a whole lot because, I go to work and I come home and then I have to clean up the house, and I'm vacuuming, I'm cleaning carpets. I have 2 dogs. I'm cleaning carpets. My mom is on a walker. So she can't, and she doesn't do anything. So I kind of toddle along behind her and make sure she's okay. And for the most part, that's what she does. She's old, she's retired, and she's happy. So my thing is I won't say she's happy. I'll say she's more content. She doesn't have to worry about anything. I keep a work my butt off and keep a roof over our heads, and keep some chickens on the table, and keep the house warm. So I just got a truckload of wood yesterday from my wood burning stove over here, and as it starts to get colder, I'll be lighting fires for Mama, and you guys will probably see her hanging out in here with me, by the fireplace. And a lot of times in the winter time like this, I get my funk on in the corner by the fireplace. So I'll flip the cameras around, and you guys get a chance to see me over there getting my funk on, like I used to do with my band in Pittsburgh, sitting in the corner by the fireplace getting our funk on. So that's she said, okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I tell you, it looks like because that's me commenting on your land. I think that's what you were talking about with that one. Yeah. So I was going to jump into some scripture tonight. I had some scriptures here, but I'm not doing a marathon. Not tonight. So 2 of the main things I wanted to talk about was our food and the food laws. And so I really don't have to go into it very deeply because trust me, when you get finished watching what Moshe's putting down, Yona, when you get finished watching that video, like this, I gave you the link to the tilapia. You're going to want to change the way you look at fish. And if you end up getting some tilapia, you're going to want to put your own in a tank and grow it yourself after you've watched this. And when you get finished watching his video on the kosher lifestyle, because he's breaking it down, he's talking about, how, if you want to live halal, how to live halal, and you have to go to places where you can. And he's showing you the codes on the food. He's talking about the chemicals in the food. I mean, he's going all in with this one, and I love it when he does that, because when I sit down and I gather my materials to go all in, I do the same thing. So you're really going to like this, and I like when I find them, I like sharing them, for you guys to get that information as well, because it matters, that we try to live as healthy as we can. And that's why, see, I have my phone over here, but I don't have it hooked up so that you could be able to see the pictures. But if you look at my website, if you look at my Facebook, Z, you can look at my Facebook, and you can just look at my pictures. You go down, scroll down my photos, you'll see all my salads in there. And, well, not all of them, but when I first started, and like now, I eat raw. I don't eat anything on my salad. I just eat raw. And when I first started, I thought I had to have, dressings and all of that, because I didn't know any better. I mean, I had been eating, I made a salad like I thought we make a salad, right? But then when I found out that after the tomatoes and the avocados, and then looking at different salad recipes, and now I have a staple salad that I eat every day, the same thing, and I'm not tired of it. I have a spring mix, leafy greens. One is baby spinach with greens, and the other one is just a regular spring mix, with my arugula and radicchio and things in it. But it's bell peppers, red ones, green ones, orange ones, yellow ones, red onions, broccoli. What else do I put in? I got hemp seed on it. I've got what else do I put on it? Avocados, Roma tomatoes, 2 of those, or cherry tomatoes. What else do I use? I mean, I have to look at my refrigerator. When I build a salad, I got 7 or 8 things, and I have a video. I got a video. You can see the video. I got a video over here. You can find a video with me standing there talking about. I'll put it on. It's on the Facebook Hebrew Israelite page, with me standing there with all my ingredients on the stove, talking about, in a few minutes this is going to be a salad on my plate, and I'm itemizing everything that's right there. But that's basically the staple, and then I add to that, like I might chop up some chicken and sprinkle it across the top, or I may not. But the thing of it is that once I top it with that pink Himalayan sea salt, and that I got 7 different peppers in a pepper grinder. It's called a pepper medley, and there's 7 different kinds of pepper, and I grind those on top. You don't need any dressing. I mean, because the explosion that happens in your mouth causes all your saliva glands to go off, and there's so much juice in your mouth. You don't need any dressing. And I've been eating like that for going on 2 years now. Just raw 3 times a day, raw, and drinking this water. I keep this with me. This is full of water, and the same water. This is that filtered water. I double filter my water, and I got a 2-gallon mason jar over there with a spigot on it, and I keep it full on a day, to the point where I started giving the dogs this filtered water, and their dog bowl stays empty, and they've got a big square one. It's a big square, and they're always over there licking. They love the taste of that water. I'm like, oh, okay, so I got some competition with my water. Now I have to keep theirs full and keep my jar full, because I drink about a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half a day. That water tastes so good. So, and then they love the flavor of it now. So, and then I feed them 0 grain, the best dog food on the market, which is really expensive because it is 0 grain. And then the doggy cookies are 0 grain, usually made out of sweet potatoes or pumpkin. And so, trying to keep the dogs healthy too. So working on Mama next, hopefully. But you guys pray for my mama, and we'll keep on finding interesting things to post in the Facebook group, and we'll keep on, looking for things to inspire and keep us walking the way that we want to be walking. But I'm going to end this broadcast because I want to get some bang bang time in over here on my drums. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Sister Z, thank you for hanging. And for those of you who I know it's your Friday night, and you're probably stuck in front of the television. Most of them are stuck in front of the television. And okay, all right, yeah, you do that. Raw recipe books. Okay, I'm good with that. But most people are stuck in front of the TV, and the Super Bowl is coming up. The games are on, and I know how Israel is. They'd rather they'll watch their football games, and then they'll get to their scriptures later. And I'm so glad that the Most High does not deal with His heavenly business and then get to us later. I'm glad that He is the kind of Father that when one of His children calls on Him, He's there for it. Because we are the apple of His eye. He cares about what happens with us. He just wants us to care about Him caring about us. And most of us don't care about Him caring about us. We care about ourselves and what's going on around us. So with that, I'm gonna leave that there. And Z, are you Are you where I think you are? I'm not gonna say anything. But are you on deck right now, or are you at home? No, I think you're on deck. Let me see, what time is it? Yeah, I think you're on deck. Are you where I think you are? That's a yes or no question, you know, and I'll just leave it right there. But it's a pleasure, you know, that you've popped up on the scene and you've been hanging with me. It's all good. But I am going to end this broadcast and get in some bang bang time, and then where are we? We're at 100 minutes, y'all. We went to 100 minutes, and we're going to. So it's an hour and 31 minutes in is what it is. Elapsed time is what YouTube says. So we'll leave it there. Thank you, family. Mishpachah, I love you. You know, you guys that watch these videos after the fact, you know, I see the numbers, and there's a lot of you. And then when I see them over in Facebook, you know, there's a lot of you reacting to a lot of things that we're putting up over there. So that's the reason why we also need that platform. So when we put up something controversial, like I said before, then they can't kick us off. And so we'll still be working on that with the boys in London. But with that, you know, I want to say thank you. Have a great night. And, okay. All right. Well, then, yeah. Well, when we get out of here, I'll chop it up with you. But I'm going to shut this off right now, and I'm going to spend about 45 minutes to an hour over on the girls over there, and then I'll reach out and touch you. And we'll leave it there, and I'll say goodnight to everybody. You guys enjoy your Shabbat, and make sure that you spend some time with the Father. You know, keep your hands in the air, and stay prayerful. You know, you want to keep it like this. Keep it just like this, you know, and you keep it like that. Keep your head down. Keep your focus on the scriptures, because you see, the last thing you want to do is be sitting up watching the Super Bowl and then thunder crack and the sky roll back and you get caught off guard. You know, you'll have no excuse at that point. You know, you can't say, because he said in his word, in that day, many are going to say, Lord, Lord, but I. And he's going to say, I never knew you. Okay, so even when I'm sitting in my drums over there, you know, I got some royalty music playing. I'm over here playing. I don't play the street stuff anymore, you know. And when I do, it's for my personal use. It's right here in the house. It's for me to keep my chops hot. But most of the time, you know, I'm playing royalty music. I'm writing royalty music. I'm writing 12 Tribe music, you know, because it's all about staying humble. It's all about staying humble, and it's all about staying like this. And as long as with my head down and my hands up, you know, I know that the Father has got me on his mind, and I'm good, and he's good with me. So, family, I'm going to say good night, and I hope that everybody does exactly what they need to do in order for us to be who we need to be moving forward in this thing. So, with that, I'll say good night, and I don't know where my audio went. I thought I had it already set there. Doesn't look like it was. Wow, so many things. So many things. See, audio's not there. And that could be because the phone is on too, but doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. So I'm trying to see if I can get it to go before we go out. But if not, it's okay. It's all right. No audio, and it could be because the phone is on too. But anyway, good night, Mishpachah. You guys have a great Shabbat, and I'll see you on the other side.